Volunteers have started filling up nearly 8,000 backpacks with scissors, pencils, glue sticks, and other school essentials to help prepare New York City public school students for the upcoming school year. About 160 of them will be working for the next 2 days at the Salvation Army's Harlem Community Center starting on Wednesday.
Well, today we're thrilled to be here with our partners, the Salvation Army, kicking off our Stand with Students campaign. It's our commitment to the New York City public schools and their students. And we're kicking off today, as you can see behind me, we're packing backpacks full of incredible school supplies for students in need. Over today and tomorrow, we're gonna pack over 8,000 backpacks. We have more than 160 volunteers coming out to do just that and help our students in need have the supplies they need to kick off the school year in the right way. Sure, so we're packing a variety of really important and basic school supplies. You can see here we have crayons, we have markers of different types. Of course, in this classroom you'll need things like rulers and notebooks and folders. We're taking all of these supplies and putting them together in these awesome backpacks.
Well, as a mom and a New Yorker, I think that doing my part is important, said a volunteer who also runs her own nonprofit.
Well, as a mom and a New Yorker, I think that doing my part is important. We got hit pretty hard with the pandemic, and I think that if you have the time, you should come out and help out. I was off today and I saw it on Instagram and I was like, I'm signing up right away.
TK Lee came with a team of coworkers from PricewaterhouseCoopers to help.
I think it's important to come together in this time of trial and a challenging time for everyone, and to show everyone that they're not alone, and we can show them love and this humanity, and then this world still it's a good place to live.
The initiative came from a nonprofit New York Cares that teamed up with the Salvation Army Greater New York Division. The backpacks will be delivered to 30 schools and community partners in need across Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Bronx, according to Sapreet K, Saluja, Executive Director at nonprofit New York Cares.
So the 8,000 backpacks are going to be distributed to more than 30 schools and community partner organizations across New York City. We're focused on communities that have been exponentially impacted by food insecurity, economic challenges, and the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. There'll be over 8,000 students who receive these backpacks full of these important supplies that they'll need to start off the school year right.
The initiative comes as the National Retail Foundation estimates that parents will spend about $864 on average for clothes, shoes, school supplies, and electronics for their K-12 students, totaling around $37 billion in 2022, on par with the last year's record numbers. Many parents can't afford such an expense and are cutting back on supplies, according to Catherine Collin, Senior Director at the National Retail Foundation.
Right now, we're expecting another healthy back-to-school shopping season. Consumers told us that they're planning to spend about $864 on average for all the clothes, shoes, school supplies, and electronics that their K-12 students will need. And total spending is expected to reach around $37 billion, on par with last year's record number. We're seeing similar numbers or similar trends for back to college, where back to college students and their families are expecting to spend around $1,200 on average. And total spending on back to college is expected to set a new record at $74 billion. One of the things that is top of mind for consumers when they're shopping for back to school or college this season is inflation and higher prices. 68% of those we surveyed said that they have noticed higher prices, particularly on items like clothes and school supplies, but also electronics. But we are seeing that back to school and college is really an essential category for families. So even with higher prices, even with inflation, they're really prioritizing their spending so that they can afford all the items their student will need for the start of school. In fact, 38% say that they're actually cutting costs in other areas in order to afford school items this year. They're also shopping for sales more often, stretching out their spending across the whole season, and considering other brands than they might have bought in the past in order to find options that work for them and their families. We know that not all families are in the same position or the same financial position when they're shopping for back to school right now. We know that lower income families in particular may be hit a little bit harder by higher prices and inflation. They may have less savings built up throughout the pandemic, or they may have seen less real wage growth. There are a lot of programs out there that families can look to, whether that's donating school supplies, which can ease the burden of those items for families, buying secondhand for your student, or participating in things like clothing swaps or supply swaps with other families in the neighborhood. All of those tactics can certainly help relieve some of the pressure on those who are being hit the hardest right now.
The New York Cares Backpack event at the Salvation Army's Harlem Community Center starts New York Cares' third annual Stand with Students campaign, a donation-supported initiative that includes academic tutoring, school revitalization projects, and book distribution in areas affected by food insecurity and financial hardship, as well as the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. In neighborhoods such as Central Queens, East Brooklyn, and the South Bronx.
Oh, sure. So in the backpack, there's folders, there's a notebook, some markers, crayons, a ruler, and a pencil case with pencils, sharpeners, and scissors, and erasers. Would you like to see what's inside? And some glue sticks. Yes, this is actually very helpful for parents who, this is one less thing they have to worry about, because they have to buy school clothes and, snacks and things like that. So this lightens their hearts, lightens their minds, and this is really helpful for them. And it's going to help them as far as their pockets. It depends on how many kids they have. So maybe $50 to $100 per child.
This year's campaign goal is $700,000. New York Cares manages hundreds of year-round projects in elementary schools, assisting students with homework, math, reading, and fitness goals. In 2021, New York Cares served 45,000 children through in-person and virtual programs, distributed 10,000 coats and 15,000 backpacks to students.